How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I thought I'd have a go at making a Wreckfest video. I've been messing around on it, and yeah, I got a few different races, a few examples of what you can get up to on there. I found myself the closest thing I could get to a loaf, so it'll do. It's wearing sunglasses as well. God, I'm a professional. Yeah, for this one, I actually set everyone to like race the same as me, so they're all in these, what's it called, a Vandal or something? It's like a Vandal. Yeah, I'm like Class A, so I've got a pretty powerful, fully upgraded engine. I've made them have the same vans as me and everything. Some of them are Class C, some are B, some are A. Again, like, it's just a sort of rough approximation of like your power to weight and all the rest of it, so yeah, the higher the class, generally speaking, the better you are. I went for vans with this one, because to be fair, they dent up pretty well. They squidge in quite a lot, and yeah, you can wreck them pretty good. And yeah, overall, I mean, I've just been enjoying this game as, like, I've obviously been playing SnowRunner for bloody ages, and although that is a brilliant game, it's obviously very slow paced and everything, and yeah, I've almost noticed, like, since having this game, my behaviour in SnowRunner has kind of got a little bit better, as in I'm a little bit more patient with things and that, because now, if I just want to kind of, yeah, get the stress out and go and smash a load of things up, I can go on this game for an hour, kind of, yeah, well, as you see, fly around, smash into everything, kind of get that out of my system, and then I can go back to SnowRunner, and I'm perfectly fine going like 5 miles an hour for a bit. Nailed him. Yeah, so the other things I like about this game, I mean, it's basically like mindless fun. You don't have to put a lot of effort in, but that's not to say, like, there is also, what I quite like about it, is some surprisingly decent racing to be had if you set up the right map, give them the right cars, you know, make them like expert difficulty, etc. Yeah, they're pretty bloody quick, and they're pretty hard to keep up with sometimes, especially then when you've got the whole element of that, for example. I mean, this map, I started with this one, it's called Wrecknado. Absolutely fluffed that one and crashed into the wall. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like an elaborate figure eight, really. You sort of, as you can see, everyone goes sort of flying off little ramps into the middle that you can hit each other. And yeah, this side you kind of go to the outside of the loops and meet in the middle, and then these ones you sort of split up in the middle and curve round each way to the outside. And yeah, like I said, it all just ends up in a big crazy pile up in the middle. And overall, like, I actually, yeah, racing wise, I mean, I've got what's it called, not Grand Theft Auto, Gran Turismo Sport on my PS4 as well, which I do like that. I like sim racing, I like racing in general, and like, bear with me, but I think this game is actually quite a lot like a sim racing game. And obviously I appreciate there's arcade elements, like particularly when it comes to damage and the heavy damage, it gets arcadey because it has to, you know, your wheels are practically floating like in odd places and stuff to allow you to keep going to a degree. But other than that, and again, when I say sim, it's like a very simplified version. It's not detailed. I mean, you're drifting around a lot, but that feels pretty good to do the drifting. But what I mean is, you're not going at unrealistic speeds. The vehicles haven't got unrealistic acceleration. There's not, like, you know, booster packs. All it's, again, you go on a mad map like this, yeah, I appreciate it. You wouldn't be doing jumps like that for very long anyway in a van. You'd probably smash the suspension and write the thing off on the first jump. But there is a lot of like race tracks on this game that aren't necessarily insane. They're a little bit more, like I said, race orientated. And yeah, overall, like, it's pretty cool, because then when I could also make the argument with something like Gran Turismo Sport that that's got arcade elements, as in you can crash, but you can't get any damage. I'm sure that's the game where you can't even roll. You'll never roll. Like, so if you go flying into, you T-bone someone at 200 mile an hour, they just kind of skid off, spin around a bit, and that's it. And when you think about it, it's like, that's pretty damn unrealistic in its own right. Yeah, I love games that have damage elements to them. A little while ago I bought a PS2 and Destruction Derby 1 just because I wanted to play that again. Oh no, sorry, Destruction Derby 1 I got on the PS3 in the PlayStation Store, but they've removed it now. I bought the PS2 because I couldn't get Destruction Derby 2, so that's, yeah, I bought Destruction Derby 2, played that, and it was good. This to me feels like a true kind of sequel to those kind of games, which, again, I mean, if it was up to me, if I was kind of like the overlord of gaming for the last 20 years, I prefer stuff like damage mechanics in games over you know, pristine graphics, for example, and this is, I suppose, a good example of that. The graphics are perfectly fine. They're the crash mechanics and kind of how your car crunches in. I don't believe it's like 100% soft body mechanics like Beam NG, but it's close, if you know what I mean. There are probably some relatively like pre-programmed areas that can get squidged in or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of scope within that. Like, you can certainly... It's rare you're going to make the same car look the same twice by the end of a race. Like, you're going to have various different dents and bumps and tyres sticking in and out and all sorts. And yeah, body panels missing, doors wedged in and all sorts. And yeah, as I said, I've always enjoyed that. If anyone remembers a game back in the day, Tocker Race Driver. Loved that game. What was it? Ryan McCain, I think, and Donnie McCain, the brothers. I think you have to go and race that guy. I can't remember his name, Randall or something. Yeah, and that had damage, like, again, like, very limited damage mechanics, but it was great fun, because not only as you were racing around, you were bumping and nudging into people, you were picking up bits of damage. And yeah, I like that element. I mean, now you just seen someone T-bone the crap out of me in the corner. There's a big fat bulge now in my door, where, that might be the driver's side as well, so he won't be doing too well. Yeah, but overall, I mean, even when, like I said, if you go on a less crazy map and you try and get more of an element of just racing on the go, it's still pretty cool that as you are, yeah, you kind of like Robbins racing, as the old days of Punch film says. Yeah, you can see your bodywork denting up, especially when you set it to like realistic damage. It nails your car. If anything, you could make the argument in some cases it's over realistic. It's like oversensitive. So that's what I mean. Like, you can kind of set the game up to get the most out of the sim element of the game, or you can just be like, sod it, I want a mad 5 minutes, go into destruction mode, or go on a crazy map like, yeah, Wrecknado, or Hellride, and Deathloop, and all that, and just smash the crap out of people, and again, have mindless fun. The amount of times I've thrown a race down the drain, because I couldn't help but smash into someone that I had no need to, but, yep, the thought took me, so I went for it. So this one now, I've put this, this map's called Eagles Peak or something, I think. There is a few little jump, well, I'll say little. If you were in this next jump coming up, I think you'd probably argue it's not little. But, it's a bit of Dukes of Hazzard going on. Yeah, this, I kind of left this one in. It's a little bit of a longer video than I was planning for, probably around 15 minutes, but I kind of wanted to put a few different elements of the game in that I've been enjoying. So the first map was, yeah, Wrecknado, which I'd consider just a bit of a crazy, funny map. You go mad on it, you might be clicking restart, but that's another nice thing, just the way the whole game plays out. I can easily change the settings of my car to be like easy, medium, hard, turn ABS, traction control, on, off, half, whatever. I can set the AI to like amateur, medium, or expert, or whatever it is. Yeah, there's just so many things you can adjust all the way through that it's like, if you're not in the mood to be, you know, top shelf racing, just set them down to a lower difficulty and they're all act like idiots and they just crash into everything and they're pretty easy to beat. Or yeah, if you feel like you're up to the challenge, you can put them in some decent cars, set them to expert, give yourself like not a god level sort of car, and yeah, like give yourself an actual decent challenge. So like I say, this track, apart from these jumps, I would consider this more of like a race track though. It has also got a few crossovers on this, so there's a few figure eights, again, to see the people that sort of wedged into my door. Yeah, but there's a lot of sort of free-flowing faster maps, and then also I've got a bit of footage of like a Destruction Derby event, which, yeah, it's just like a big square yard really with 23 or something other cars in. I'm in a big fat hearse, and you just go around smashing into everyone. Like I said, just mindless fun. But yeah, that's what I've always enjoyed, is damage mechanics, so, and it's, to me, pretty crazy how long ago Destruction Derby and Destruction Derby 2 were out, and games like Tocker Race Driver. I'm surprised they've never brought... I know it got as far as, I think, Tocker Race Driver 3, but I nearly bought Tocker Race Driver 2 once, and it was in Blockbusters or something. I gave the guy the thing, he went out the back to get the disc, and he just disappeared. After about 15 minutes, I just left the shop. I was like, I don't know what he's doing, but that was it. That was as close as I ever got. Tocker Race Driver 2 or 3, anyway. But yeah, I'm surprised they never carried that on, because it was a good racing game, but the whole damage situation, not only was it like cool and more realistic, but then you could just have your mad 5 minutes where you go on an oval, go the wrong way around the oval and smash into people and see how much you can smash your cars up. That's the only thing I would say really is missing from this game. It's got oval tracks, but they're relatively small. Like the top speed of a car in this, the best ones, are probably 170, 180 odd mile an hour, but you're never going to get up to that on the ovals in this game. They're like relatively small. If you had more full-on NASCAR-sized ovals, where, yeah, like I said, it looks pretty good. Ed Soundhead, who's a channel on YouTube, who does a bit of Wreckfest, but he's got it on PC, so he can get mods and everything. Yeah, he can get like Talladega, sort of Michigan Speedway or whatever, like the big NASCAR tracks, and it looks quite cool because as everyone's going sort of 150, 60 mile an hour, 180 or whatever, you're still going fast enough around the corner that you're not drifting. Like, there is a lot of drifting going on in this game. So as you're tapping people, like, you can see them getting a bit squirrely and losing it, and it all just looks pretty fun. So it'd be pretty cool if they added an oval, like a full-size one. But other than that, yeah, there's all sorts. Like I said, there's demo derbies. There's just ridiculous, funny maps like Hellride is a beast. I think I've got Hellride at the end of this video. Or yeah, like I said, you got a bit more sensible stuff. So we got that one in the bag. You can see my car at the end of it. It's not looking too healthy. Took some, I think, 2 pretty meaty shots to the door, and then as I had a bad landing on one of the jumps, a car come flying in and squidge me. And then this is what I mean, where if you're just not in the mood, like I could give us all equal sized cars and all the rest of it, but if you're just in the mood to go around killing everything, I'm in a big fat hearse that's got giant metal bumpers and, yeah, all the armour and reinforcements I can want. Apologies that there was a glitch or two in this one, but yeah, and I'll give them all super vans, little Robin Reliance or whatever, so as you can see, it's pretty much easy mode for me. Just go around splatting everybody. They do hit me as well, but they don't really do a lot, if I'm honest. I'm the biggest enemy, like you can see, going flying into people. I will go flat out in a wall if it means I can take someone with me. So yeah, I cause more damage to my hearse than anyone else, really. And yeah, you've also got stuff like, in this same setup, or racing, you've got lawnmowers, couch car thing. I'm not really, or sofa cars. I'm not too keen on the sofa cars, to be honest. They're alright, they are alright for a laugh, but I don't know, long term they're a bit, yeah. Yeah, and then you got stuff like school buses, combine harvesters, like motorhome sort of things. I ended up getting some of the DLC stuff, which is stuff like this, for example. Get this hearse. There is still plenty of cars just in the normal game, but obviously, yeah, with the DLC stuff, Season 1 and 2, you end up getting like another, I can't remember, 20 or 30 cars. You get like extra option. Just, again, there's plenty of bumpers, big hefty bumpers you can put on the front and back of cars, etc. But with the season pass bits, there was kind of more designs, a bit more choice. So yeah, overall, I mean, I played the game for a week or so before I got the season pass things, and by then I was like, yeah, I do like the game, to be honest. It's pretty cool, so I thought, sod it, I'll invest a little bit more into it. I just edited there, just to keep it a little bit short. I did a 6-minute run. Yeah, I damaged my tyre, so as you can see just then, what I cut to, I just splattered myself in the wall on purpose to break my other tyre, wreck my hearse. Because in this game mode, there's 2 versions of like the demo derbies. You can see in this one, it's just, I put the timer for 6 minutes, and that's it. Everyone's just running around for 6 minutes, trying to rack up as many kills and score, basically, as you can. Or you can do the other version, which is called Last Man Standing, which, kind of as the name suggests, you all start in this same ring, or there's various different, I don't know, demo arenas you can choose. And yeah, it's the last one standing, so you've got to try and kill everybody, but without killing yourself. And yeah, as you can see, it's a lot of fun. Super vans do not stand a chance. Look at that guy. Bloody Houdini trotter over here. Just vamooses his way out of there. He's lucky as well. I was dropping the hammer and I was heading for him. How many what am I on now? 19. Right, so I think in the end I get about 20, 23 or something. I can't remember what my record is. I got a really good game the other week. I can't remember now. I think it might have been the high 20s, like in about 4 minutes. It was something ridiculous. I was absolutely mowing everyone down, just getting lucky on like the right person was in front of me with a little bit of health, enough to squid. If you hit one of these hard enough, you can kill them in one, but it doesn't happen too often. You kind of need to slap them around a bit, go in for a few slaps, and get them down eventually. And yeah, as well, just while the event's finishing, like the whole customization options, it's fairly basic. You've got 3 engines, kind of like a stock, street, and a race one or whatever. But then you can customize or upgrade your headers, your just all various engine parts, your spark plugs, your air intake, and all that. You're just tuning the car up basically. Like I said, you've got sort of class C, B, and A. There is actually a class D. The combine harvester, I believe, is in class D. Yeah, you can see there. I wrecked 23. I got wrecked once, but that was me splatting into a wall. Just again, it'll give you a new hearse once you die in that game mode. This is also, you can say I got 2,750 credits for that one. I set that to 6 minutes, but you can set it to 2 minutes and you'll still get 2,750, which is about the quickest way of farming a bit of money on this game. Overall, it's about balance, right? Like I've saved up a couple £100 now, and I've still got some cars to tune up and buy and all sorts. But yeah, it's not ridiculous, like a ridiculously long grind, but it's not as well to where you're going to get all the cars in a day. So yeah, this is Hellride, which I really do like this course, to be honest. It's one of the most nuts ones on the game. As you can see when we started, kind of drive straight ahead. There's this ramp in the middle, there's kind of like an X road that sort of goes either side, cuts underneath, and sweeps back out either side. And then when you get to this side of Hellride, you can see you got these loops. I can choose either way, so before long you've obviously got people coming towards you. When you go to that ramp in the middle, sometimes there's people coming the other way and all sorts. And yeah, it's just general chaos. Trying to complete this, you can complete it if you try and avoid like the middle section all the time and whatever. If you try and avoid crashes, I wouldn't say it's that hard to complete. Just nailed that guy. But yeah, if like me, if I see a nice crash opportunity, like a juicy T-bone on its way, I'm going for it. Even if I'm in the lead, I'm half a lap from the finish, and I just did not need to do it, I will do it. So yeah, I can end up getting stuck on this for a lot. But again, the nice thing is you can just press start, click restart, and it restarts. Like you know when some games sort of force you have to go to the end, and then it'll load back up to the main menu and make you load it all back up. This game's just, yeah, like it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's been well designed for the player to just have a good laugh and yeah, not get tied up in like, once your car's screwed, yeah, you can just restart, do whatever you like. As you can see by now, we're on lap 3 now, yeah. People come flying over. I hit someone the other day, and I think I technically scored like a field goal. I sent them over the Hellride sign, which I was pretty happy with. And yeah, on this side as well, there's kind of this loop we go around. Everyone pretty much goes the way I've just gone, but there are some that go the other way, so again, you can have more head-ons there. If you get it timed right, you have some absolute monster head-ons on that ramp. And see, chaos everywhere. A lot of people dead. Generally speaking, with Hellride, I set it to about 6 laps usually. It's one of them, like when you're racing, you can do, you know, 1 lap, 2, 3, 4 or whatever, but I don't know. I like to get a bit stuck in. You can avoid the crashes, get into first pretty easily, and it's not too bad, but I like to kind of try and kill as many people as I can. Get my car fairly killed. By then, there's usually like a couple of people in front of me, and I've then got to kind of drop the hammer, start paying attention a bit more, and try and race back to the lead, which yeah, I quite enjoy. So yeah, I can spend hours just on this map alone, not even cashing in one game. I just keep clicking restart because I get nailed. And yeah, most of the time, by the end, there's none to 3 people alive. Whether I really intervene or not, I mean, you can see there's just dead people everywhere. Another thing I do like, it's random, but unlike the lawnmowers, the couches, there's a toilet I can race as well from the DLC pack. Like, you obviously got your rider sat on it, and you can knock them off and their body just goes flying. I know it sounds random, but I quite like that, because a lot of games try and be, I don't know, really sensitive with that, with a body going flying, and I quite like it. It's just quite funny watching them go flying off, and yeah, every now and then you hit them. It does draw the line though. Every now and then, if you have a big fat roll and you like flip over the fence and go to hit the crowd, it'll like auto reset you on the map. I think, what was it? Was it in Le Mans or something? Was there a Mercedes in like the 50s that went cartwheeling through the grandstand, pretty much killed like 50 to 80 people? Obviously pretty horrific. Yeah, so I think games kind of shy away from that one. But yeah, there's a lot of games that just don't let you see the person go flying, because, again, like, yeah, you know, TT and stuff like that, people crash and go flying on that, but it is what it is. People got blown up by grenades in World War II, but I still think it's funny when I blow someone up with a grenade on Call of Duty and they go flying. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect veterans or anything, it's just, that's some fun shit. So again, just about winging my way through. Like I said, we've also got glasses on this car. I've worked it out, I've done some tests, and having sunglasses on your car is at least 69 times cooler, so that's what's happening. That's what I mean though, just with the game, like there's a few things you can add to your roof, like rockets, missiles, a Joker hat, like an American hat, a turd you can put on top of your car. Just random stuff. Like I say, it's a bit of a silly game, but it is quite nice. I thought it would be a little bit further over to the silly side, and because there was a game a while ago, was it? Oh god, Flat Out. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it, I'm sure there's some people who like it. But that looks like it definitely lent into the arcade silly side of it. By the way, now, I'm about to finish the race, but there's only one guy left alive. I was like, I'll be damned if he is living. So, I waited for him at the finish, and he splattered him. I admit, it was really, see, I could have easily, like, my tyre is hanging on by a wing and a prayer. I could have just ended the whole game then, but it was worth the risk. Although, to be fair, if you kill somebody, and you're the last one left, see, I still came, I came first, but even if I died, I would have. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's a couple of different races. This is just me splatting someone on the death loop, which was, yeah, a good old time. Nailed. But yeah, that's about it for today, though. I just thought it'd be something a little bit different. I'll be back to the SnowRunner videos as usual. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.